Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Hold on.
Did you eat today? Did you drink water? If not, then I swear I will break out of the basement Elias stare.
I ate. I had lasagna. And I'm in the process of drinking water. Please don't harm me. I swear. I took care of myself today. Hold on. Oh my god, why the moment I switch over to that scene, my allergies are starting to act up. Oh my god. Okay, I'll behave then. Yeah. Yumi, I should... Do you want me to? Yeah. I'ma remove that. I'm sorry.
Cheese.
Can't believe you would do this, real voice. What the fuck are you talking about? Hold on, let me say hello to everyone though. Kitsune, congratulations on getting first. You know, I just realized that I don't like this new chat layout I have. I can see the activity feed. Hi Nera. Hello Floresta. Hi Amon. Fuck you Amon. Ocean, thank you so much for the lark. And Ellie and Kitsune, thank you for the lark as well. And hi Fuzzy. Hello. Did I miss? Oh, hi Limey. Hi. How are you, Limey? Okay, so first of all, I'm sorry if my sound sounds like super messed up today. My mic was in the process of dying, so now I had to get a cheaper one. But we'll figure it out. It's just gonna be another, like, 2 months of me trying to get audio balancing right. As we do. Deal? What? That's crazy. How is Poppy playtime so far, Ellie? I've only played the first one. The first one so far, but it was pretty fun. Sounds pretty clean to me, but I'm also using shitty headphones. Yeah, that's very fair. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with Poppy playtime. Actually, should we? You know what I'm gonna do? I'ma link the YouTube video in chat, cause why not? I'ma do the thing that other people do all the time. There we... Oh, not like this. I also have to say I'm pretty glad that I don't play that on stream. That I decided to not play that on stream, because I feel like that game is a lot more enjoyable when you don't have like a live audience trying to tell you what to do. Because I had fun figuring stuff out myself. You sound relatively the same. Okay, good. That's why the real voice coming out. Mike died. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how different it sounds, but yeah. Mods, she ban. No self-promotion here. Banned. Poppy playtime, chapter 1. And then we just pin this. Cool. Cool. Also, you're gonna get like 90% kids join in and spoil stuff because it's that type of game. No, it definitely is, because... So I have 2 reasons why I decided to play Poppy Playtime off stream. One is because it gives me extreme motion sickness. Unfortunately, that game does not have... That game is not very nice to my motion sickness at all. So I need... Oh my god, hold on a second. Okay, so yeah, number one reason, motion sickness. I need like a break every 10 minutes from it. But so at least when I don't stream it, I can chill like that. And number two is because every time I've seen people play that game, I didn't watch the gameplay, but sometimes I like took a peek at chat, and there were so many kids just trying to spoil the whole thing. And I don't have the patience for that shit. I would just crash out. So for that reason, I decided to just, you know, do YouTube videos instead for that game. It would be really fun to stream it for you guys, but yeah, I don't want to get the spoilers, because I tried my best to avoid spoilers all of these years, you know? I don't want to have it ruined by like some fucking 13-year-old trying to think he's funny or whatever. The game is so great, just sucks that that it's also full of people spoiling and not having basic common sense. Yeah, very true. God, I have trouble breathing today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I seem a bit out of breath. My allergies are going insane. And Lucy is having zoomies. I do, if I get a sword, that's crazy. Isn't it the same with Undertale? Yeah, Undertale and the second part of that series, I forgot what the name was, but Undertale is riddled with children thinking it's funny to spoil the game for you. I'm glad I got to play Undertale the moment it came out, so everything was still fresh and nobody really knew what was going on. Yeah, Deltarune, that's the one. I'm glad I was able to play that around the time where it just came out, and not many people were spoiling it and stuff like that, so yeah. That was a good time back then, but the fan base turned sour very quickly. It's pretty sad that it always happens with good games. Also, Yumi, I just saw. Thank you for the 30 stream streak. Holy hell. A full month of streaking. No one can catch me. Crazy. Hi, Senpai. Hello, hello. How are you? But yeah. I'm having a good time with Poppy playtime so far. I'm thinking I will I might play the second part later today in the evening when stuff is a bit calmer. Lucy, what are you doing? My God. Okay, for some reason I got no notification from the YouTube video. I turned all the notifications on now. Thank you, Floresta, thank you. Yeah, I think because it's a relatively fresh channel and it only has like 30 subscribers or something, I don't think YouTube is very nice to like very small channels when it comes to notifications and stuff. But we'll get there, we'll get there. Hi, Battle Bro, how are you? I'm okay. How about you, my dear? I'm doing okay. Allergies are kicking my ass, so if I sound a bit out of breath, it's because of that, because I literally can't breathe. But we'll figure it out today. I'm just keeping it, you know, cozy and chill today, and we'll see how that goes. Hold on, let me adjust this real quick. Okay. Video was in my subfeed at least. Okay, at least something, Oh no, I hate allergies, me too. The last few nights, this and the week prior, were hell for me. Not only is it getting hotter, which I also can't handle, it's also like when I open the window, I either have to like deal with a stuffy room, or I open the window and I can't breathe anyways because of all the pollen. I cannot win during this time of the year at all. But yeah. It's so funny how many tastes in games wait. It's so funny how many taste in games changed. How my taste in games changed, I think, is what you're trying to say. Before, I used to hate, and I mean hate Poppy Playtime stuff. Now I'm the biggest fanboy you'll ever see. Yeah, it is funny how that stuff goes sometimes. Also, hi, Super, how are you? Hello, hello. But yeah, it is funny how that stuff goes sometimes. How's your Jinbei collection going? Oh, I'm on. Yesterday, I went on a single fishing trip, and I already got 3 more. I'm so lucky with those things. I don't know why. Yeah, it was like 2 in a row, and then later on, like the last catch of the round was once again one of them. So I had 3 in a row again. I'm super lucky when it comes to them. I don't know why. It is funny though. Good, getting ready for Horror World Tuesday. Let's go. Best Tuesday, if you ask me. They need to stay around 250k now. Yeah, if they stay around that price, which they won't. But I will make a small fortune if my luck keeps up like that. They will? Yeah, we'll see, we'll see. I hope they stay like this for a little while at least. Can I share good news? Of course, of course. Share your good news. What's the plan today? Today we are going to play a spooky game that Yumi linked to me like a week ago or so. It's called Overcome Your Fears, and it looks very much like Fears to Fathom. But we'll see if it's like, you know, one of those carbon copies of Fears to Fathom, or if it's like, you know, if it has its own twist to it. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, it was a free game on Steam, so I yoinked it. And now I want to play it so I can uninstall it again. Didn't know Yumi liked horror. I mean, Yumi sometimes links me like really good stuff, like even if it's stuff that she wouldn't play herself. If she finds something that looks interesting, she shares it with me. I passed my first exam of 3 today. I am free. Oh my god, let's go. Congratulations, Yumi. And we celebrated with delicious ice cream. Oh, hell yeah. What kind of ice cream did you get? Hell yeah. I'm so proud of you, Yumi. I am so proud. Claim your Goblin game on Epic. Which Goblin game is that? Is that the one... Yumi, is that the one you shared as well? Or is it... Oh, Trash Goblin? Okay, okay, yeah. Yeah. I got Nutella biscuit and blackberry holy shit. That sounds so good. I'm jealous. Also, My Hero Academia seasons are going too fast. Which season are you on now? And how many seasons does that anime actually have by now? Like, I stopped paying attention after like season 3 or something. 8? Oh, 2 left? Okay. Slow down a bit, Fuzzy. Also, my latency is so bad right now, bear with me. It could also be my fault, honestly. Could be my fault if the latency is shit for everyone else as well. It ended now, so it's over after season 8. No more My Hero seasons. That's deathbed ice cream. Like, if you're passing it, that's the last thing you want to take. Hell yeah, it is. It is. I agree with you, Super. Let me check something real quick before I forget. I need to drink more. My throat is so dry.
dehydrated bitch.
No, I had some bad lag. I'm on phone. Post a pic in your server. Oh. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, that looks so bomb. Oh my god. I want to eat that photo. I want to eat it. Oh, Fuzzy, I didn't know you spoke Portuguese. Oh my god, I can't ever say that word. Believe Vigilantes will get a 3rd season, but I'm not sure. Oh, speaking of shows and stuff, you guys remember when I think someone in the YouTube chat mentioned it back then, but what is it called? The Bad Guys, those movies. I finally watched them. They were actually pretty fun to watch. I watched both of them. I feel like the second one wasn't really that necessary, but that's pretty typical for any franchise these days. But yeah, I watched it. It was really fun. It was pretty fun. Didn't Discord movie night? Yeah, it didn't feel like a Discord movie night. But yeah, honestly, I feel like we should start movie nights. It would be really fun. I miss movie nights in general. I miss it. We really should start. Like, I'm already abysmal with Discord as it is, but yeah, we should start movie nights. Or at least maybe I could just like hop in a voice server and share a screen while I watch my stuff and you guys can join whenever or something like that. Because I wouldn't really know what kind, like at what time it would work. Because I know a lot of you guys are in the US and I can't really do US times when it comes to, you know, good movie times for you guys. That is a bit sad, but we could figure it out. But I would unfortunately need a volunteer to maybe stream the movie for us, because I don't think I can stream on Discord without a lot of problems. Like the Discord screen share stuff is not kind to me or my internet. I always could. Okay, Amon, thank you. Good movie times for US viewers means 3 AM for us. Exactly. I cannot do that. I unfortunately cannot do that. Okay, Yumi, be safe. Also, hold on, actually. Since I am using this new chat thing right here, let me see if I can actually do commands here as well. Okay, it works, but it's super delayed. Holy shit. But it works. Okay, at least I can do commands here. Depending on the day and time, I'm totally down to help. Thank you, Super. Thank you. But yeah, I would definitely need help with that, which is probably why I've been procrastinating on it, even though I really want to do it. I just feel bad asking for help. But yeah. It is what it is. We'll figure it out. I could maybe also just need to find a totally legal website for movies. Yeah, it's all legal. Well, now it's offered. Thank you, Super. Thank you. I appreciate you. But yeah, so no more guilt. Okay, no more guilt. Oh, nice booba. I'm jealous. Hello, saddest small boy. How you doing? How are you? Man, that brick just reminds me of Nibby. I miss Nibby.
Cheese.
Nibby, where are you? Go live right now. I got some very stacked stats today, sheesh. Yeah. You're one lucky dude today. Nappy Nibby. The fish nibbler. Didn't you want Nibby to ignore and be mean to you? But yeah, but I want her to do that while she's live. Or while we're hanging out in Discord. That's when I want her to do it. Not while she's offline. The fish gobbler? Yeah. I have a legal app for movies, and if I'm in Slovenia, so my other house, it's completely legal for me to borrow any movie from the internet. Wow, look at you. You cheated the system. Lucy just closed the door on herself. Crazy. I wonder if guys can hear her scream in a second. But I don't think my mic would pick that up. 17 centimeters, not bad. That's not a bad pee-pee, said a small boy. 15 kilos, damn. Damn, it got cold. Nice. Yeah, Slovenia has basically no laws regarding the internet. I didn't know that. That's interesting, actually. Hold on. I don't like my setup here. I can... Okay, let's do it like this for now. God, I hate my friends. What did your friends do? Me and Greasy need more members to join the one. Did I change Greasy's name in Discord? You just reminded me. Hold on. What is Greasy's name on Discord, actually? Who is this?
What the dog doing?
Okay, I see who it is. I see how it is.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
Hello, Max. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Where is Greasy? Did that bitch leave my Discord? Oh no, he's right here. Hold on. Hold on, I need to change. Wait, that's not the right thing. Change nickname. There we go. 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter PP. There we go. There we go. Nibby, speak of the devil. Nibby, go live right now. We miss you. I miss you, Nibby. Go live right now. I've been busy streaming Minecraft. Let's go, let's go. Right now, but I'm having LE time right now. Yeah, but I miss you. I like go live right now so I can watch your stream while I'm live. We can have a watch-along party for your stream. Is that allowed? I don't think that's allowed. You're painting your nails? What color? Can I have a picture once you're done? Do hand cam stream right now. Hold on, I need more tea. Ah, oh, please just let me breathe in peace, dude. I feel so out of breath, man. Paint your toenails too? That's crazy. Black and plum, if I can pull it off, they will look very bad. No, I believe in you. They're gonna look so cute. I will show when done, let's go. No dehumidifier, I do have that, but it's currently busy in my bathroom. I also have one of those. It's not a dehumidifier. What is it? An air purifier. I have that too, but it only does so much. It only does so much, unfortunately. Hello, BFM. Hello. Welcome in. I had to get surgery to remove my toenails before. had a bad ingrown. Oh my god. I am so glad I never had to have a surgery for that. I am so glad I never had to deal with that. Hold on, guys. I'm starting up the game. Yeah, I was about to ask, was it like on the big toe or a smaller one? Because I feel like the smaller one would hurt more. Big ones? Ah, boy. Still very unpleasant. Hold on. Why is it doing this? Jesus. What the fuck is happening to my computer? Oh. Did you guys hear it that the Lies of P developers are now looking for AI artists to join their team because their concept artist left? I swear I'm gonna crash out at some point about this AI bullshit. Lies of P was a beautiful game, but sure, like, destroy your next upcoming game with AI like everyone else. Fucking idiots. Pisses me off, dude.
Stop it. Get some help.
Pisses me off. Hello, Song. Hello. Song, how are you? How are you doing health-wise? Ew, AI? Yeah. Pisses me off. Hold on, guys. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with my game. Don't think about the AI, you will just get mad. Well, see, Song, that was what I wanted to do at first. I just wanted to ignore it so it can go away sooner. But the problem is it's everywhere now. Like, we're surrounded by it. Like, how am I supposed to ignore it at this point? It's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. And also, speaking of art, right? Do you guys know what art fight is? Do we have people in here that know what art fight is? It's a yearly thing where people get together and like there are two teams. People, like, there's a bunch of people get together and they make two teams, and basically they attack each other with art. So an attack is basically, if you want to attack someone, you get their OC and you draw a picture of them. Like, you draw a whole ass picture of them. Like, it's like a gift giving thing, but you know, it's like an art fight sort of front. Like, two teams are fighting against each other, but it's basically just artists gifting other artists, you know, artwork in their own style, which is super cool because you get so many different art styles like together, and you get so many different artworks of your OCs and stuff, and it's a beautiful thing. It's been a beautiful thing for so many years now. How long has this been? Like 20 years or something? I don't know. But basically, they have a rule now that you are not allowed to use your own photos or like those 3D posable dolls for like pose making and stuff. You're not allowed to use those anymore to like as a trace thing in case you are like sometimes I use like pictures, like photos of my own hands, so I can trace over it, so I can actually draw a decent looking hand, because drawing hands is really fucking it's terrible. It's awful. It's an awful thing. And if I didn't have that option to like use photos of my own hands to just trace over it so I can actually draw a decent looking hand, I would just give up on art altogether. So, also, hi, Bocci. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I'm sorry, you came in at a very rambly time in my life right now. But yeah, so basically that's not allowed in Artfight anymore. So you cannot use those 3D model references anymore. You cannot use photos of your own hands anymore. Like, what is this elitist bullshit, bro? Like, what do you mean that's not allowed? What? It pisses me off so much. Because Artfight is like 90% full of like new artists, young artists that are just starting to learn art and stuff like that. So I'm like, who? I'm actually so mad about it. I can't even express myself properly right now, but like, what kind of fucking idiot asshole is making up those new rules and just saying a big fuck you to like 90% of the participating artists in Artfight? It started out with the #1 rule, just have fun. Now we just have full of elitist assholes that are just trying to like put their own standards onto everyone else and just showing the middle finger to so many artists everywhere. I am so disappointed, bro. Bro, just draw. Exactly. just let me draw. Just let me have fun. It's not like there's even like a cash prize or any type of, you know, any type of prize involved. There's nothing involved. It's literally just artists gifting other artists artwork. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I used my own photos to make art poses. Exactly. That's what I do too. I use like photos of my own stuff all the time to like, you know, reference and sometimes trace over it, especially for hands, because I can't fucking do it otherwise. And I can't be fucking asked to like sit through fucking 24 hours of like art studies just so I can draw a fucking hand. I draw to have fun and not to like be put on a fucking pedestal with fucking elitist bullshit out of there. Like, what the fuck is this? Not pedestal. What am I trying to say? I don't want to be surrounded by fucking elitist assholes that think that you are only like a real artist if you don't use any, you know, pose references and shit like that. I'm actually like, maybe you guys can't hear it because I'm trying to mask it, but I am so fucking mad. I'm convinced Artfight isn't actually run by artists anymore. Yeah, exactly. It's not, and it pisses me off. Also, I just realized, hold on. Did I see Alpha earlier and I didn't say hello, or was I hallucinating? I think I was hallucinating. Let me just make really sure. No, Alpha is here. I'm sorry, Alpha. Hello. I'm sorry, I was really angry. Shit, I completely ignored Alpha. He's here? Okay. Hi, Alpha. I hope you're doing well. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to ignore anyone's messages, but I was just really angry for a minute there. Are we ranting about Artfight rules? Yeah. Yeah, we are. Like, I was already, like, ranting about it to Yumi yesterday, because it just pisses me off so much. But, yeah. It's so hecking stupid, like, what the fuck? Yeah, exactly. It's stupid. I don't know what they are thinking. It's like those fucking deviant artists from like 10 years ago that were like on a witch hunt for everyone who used pose references and stuff like that because they're quote-unquote not real artists. It's like them, that they just never grew up, and now those types of people are running Artfight. But yeah. Also, once again, guys, since more people are in here now, if I sound out of breath It's because of my allergies, because I can literally not breathe. I feel like I'm breathing so heavily today. It's crazy. I'm not dying though. At least I'm trying not to die. But yeah, I'm sorry if I sound like I'm running a marathon or something. Why can't I use my own cosplay photos as a reference? Exactly. Like, what the fuck are we doing, bro? What you eat that your allergies activated? Oh, it wasn't any food or anything. It's the pollen outside. It's literally it is literally the air trying to kill me. And there's nothing I can do about it other than take it and try to survive. Don't worry, you don't need to follow these rules when you art attack me. I mean, I'm not joining art fight because of that, cause fuck that. That just left such a bitter taste in my mouth. I'm just not gonna bother with it this year. I'm just glad I didn't, you know. I'm glad I haven't started any prep yet, because that would have been a massive waste of time. I understand not being allowed to use like drawn bases and stuff. Yeah, like that's another thing, right? I get it. Like bases and stuff from other people, maybe not. I can get behind that. But they even said if it's your own base, you are not allowed to use it. Like your own stuff, you're not allowed to use it. It's so dumb, bro. Like your own drawn base is something you're not allowed to use in art fight. What the fuck are we talking about? You got any meds for allergies, Ellie? I do. Unfortunately, they only help so much, because it feels like my allergies get more severe every year, and the medicine is doing less and less. You know, that's where I'm at right now. So I am not actively dying, but I am dying a little bit. Hi, Retro. Thank you. Thank you for the posture check. And I will hydrate as well. Hello, Stargold. Hello, hello. Hi, everyone say hi, YouTube. We are live on YouTube as well right now. I hope you're doing well, Stargold. Hi, YouTube. But yeah, sorry about that small rant of mine. But yeah, I had to get it out there. Hi, Stepchat. I love it when you call a YouTube chat Stepchat. It's so cute. Remember to wish Ellie a happy birthday? No. Don't do that. At least not yet. You can do that in 4 days, cause then it's my actual birthday. I'm going to be so honest, I stopped doing art fight when my friend, who made me feel bad for being gay, became a side mod. The art now borderline fetishizes gay men. I fucking hate that, dude. And her comic character are now alters. Oh, not the alter shit. Are you serious? You can't be fucking serious, bro. Hello. Hello, Yumi, over on YouTube as well. Yumi, I have to get used to your YouTube name. That is you, right? That is you, right? Wait, Dryer Portal is... I don't know. That is you. Definitely not. Okay, it's you. It is you. No one will ever believe you when you say it's your actual birthday. Now, it's true, Senpai. It's true. I know some people are actually not believing me, but you can ask Yumi. Yumi knows that it's my actual birthday. Is it Saturday? Yes. Yes, it is. Ask Yumi. So I also have to say, I'm now in Stepchat. That's crazy. I have to say I wasn't planning on streaming Saturday, but Alpha is forcing me to stream for at least an hour or so, I guess we'll have like a stream on Saturday. However, I think I'll just play a game. I don't think I want to do a birthday stream or anything like that. I'm not feeling it this year. So we have Saturday a stream. Wait, when is your birthday, Ellie? This Saturday, Fuzzy. So we're gonna have a stream Saturday, but it's not gonna be birthday themed. You can still wish me a happy birthday, of course. But yeah, I'm not feeling my birthday this year. I'm gonna be real with you. Forcing? Yeah, he is literally forcing me. However, hello, cute step chatters. Everyone over on YouTube now. That's crazy. However, guys, since I am forced to stream Saturday, I can also say that Saturday is gonna have a small announcement, which is kind of cool. It's a cool announcement. It's a thing I've been working on for a while. So at least we can have like an announcement thing on Saturday to make it at least a little bit exciting. So yeah. Oh god, she's graduating. I'm throwing up. Announcement? Yeah, we're gonna have an announcement Saturday. Also, hi Roxy. Hi. If you're not feeling your birthday, you can just feel me instead. You know what, Roxy? Hell yeah. So yeah. It's not a graduation, guys. I'm just putting this out there right now. It's not a graduation. I'm not graduating yet. It is gonna be an announcement though. So at least, you know, I'd rather like just use Saturday as a normal streaming day and just play something. I'm not sure what. Maybe we'll play Poop Killer. It feels very on brand to just play Poop Killer on Saturday. So maybe we'll play Poop Killer and announcement stuff, and that's it. What's it called when you graduate before you even debut? What is that called? Is there a word for that? Is it even a graduation if you haven't had your debut yet? That's my question. I don't know anything about VTuber culture anymore. Your real birthday is now in my calendar? Hell yeah. She's leaving us? Oh my god, I'm crying, shaking, and throwing up. That's crazy. She's graduating from... I would never graduate from Piss Queen. Do not worry. She's graduating from Piss Queen to Piss Regent. You know, maybe. I'm not even a Piss Queen. I'm a Piss Prophet. My dick's too big to be a queen. Probably not. Yeah, I don't know, Yumi. Pain pre-graduation. Well, it also doesn't make sense, though. I mean, you know what? I would still call it graduating, though. I guess. Because you were still technically a VTuber anyways. The announcement is her telling us she got a new account with a 12K model that she's gonna stream it. Oh my god, I don't think a lot of people are gonna get that reference. I don't... Oh my... Alpha, I think? Wait, do people get that reference? Yumi, do you get that reference? Are you having a good day today? I do, Stargold, I do. Other than dying from allergies, I'm alright. I hope you are doing alright as well. Okay, I don't? Okay. Do I have a story to tell you? Okay, so... Yo, nice stick, queen. Yeah. Okay, so... Let me tell you a story about a VTuber I've discovered many moons ago. So there was this dude on Twitch, right? I was like browsing through... Okay, so... I was browsing through... VTubers with like low view numbers because, You know, I wanted to find new VTubers to watch. So, hi Greasy, hello, hello.
Exclamation mark lurk eating out a friend.
Enjoy eating out your friends. Enjoy. So, anyways, I found this VTuber. Had like 2 viewers or something. It was like a cute, like, I think a pre-made goblin model or something. So I was like, oh, this is cute, another goblin VTuber to watch, right? And so I also checked out their socials, because that's something I always do. I also like check out their socials when I discover new VTubers to watch, because I want to make sure they're actually like a decent person before I give them my, you know, my view and stuff like that. Thank you for the first time pop-up in your YouTube channel. Thank you, Stargold. It's good to see you here. So yeah. Their socials wasn't really, there wasn't really a lot to go off their socials. So I figured, okay, this dude is just starting out. This is maybe like his 3rd stream or whatever. I also remember the specific number. He had like 92 followers. And I only, like, usually I don't look at the follower numbers, right? But hey, whatever. It's kind of relevant here because it's absolutely insane what I discovered next. So the only thing I saw on his Twitter was that he had bought a 15K computer, like 15K USD, I think. So 15,000, he spent $15,000 on a new computer for streaming. So I was like, you know what? That's respectable. At least you can use that computer for other things as well if streaming never works out for you. So I get that investment, right? It was still an insane number to me, because 15,000 on a computer is insane to me. That is like, that is a power machine. 15K NASA, exactly. Like, I was like, holy shit, what are you gonna do with a 15K computer? So, the real kicker comes afterwards, though. 15K computer, okay, I can totally respect that. You can do so many things with that. It doesn't just have to be streaming. I get that investment. So anyways. So 15K on a computer for streaming. That's okay. Respectable. I can respect it. And then I happened to see the VTuber model they commissioned. I came by that by complete chance, by the way, because we have... It was like an artist I've wanted to commission first as well. So, you know. So anyways, I've seen the commission, I've read the review. And in the review he stated he spent, how much was it? 21K on that VTuber model. For streaming, with someone who only had like started streaming, like you know, like last month or something. He only had like 3 streams, like 21K on a VTuber model. I was like, okay, holy shit. First 15K on a computer, and now 21K on a VTuber model. This dude has to be fucking rich, right? Like, this was literally, like, numbers-wise, this was a nobody, guys. Like, nobody knew who he was. He had, like, 150 followers on Twitter, 92 followers on Twitch. Nobody knew who that guy was. And that guy basically spent a small fucking fortune on a computer and a VTuber model. Just to stream. That's what I also thought, Battle Bro. I guess he is just stupid rich. So that's the reference. That's the thing that Alpha is referencing here. You wanna know the kicker afterwards? So he did like a month, like maybe 2 months of streaming with that new model. And he posted exactly 3 AI art pictures of his model on Twitter and then was never seen again. He stopped streaming completely. He stopped posting anything on Twitter. He completely abandoned that model. I've never heard anything about that from that guy ever again. That guy literally just blew 21k on a VTuber model and just stopped streaming. It's insane to me. How I want to be stupid rich too. But like I'm starting like like after I discovered that he just left the internet completely, I started to wonder, because the artist that he was commissioning that model from had a strict no AI use policy, so you are not allowed to use their AI, the model that they've drawn in AI stuff. However, it is obviously very obvious that he used that model for those AI pictures. So I'm starting to wonder, did that artist just take his rights away from the model because of those AI pictures and just kept the money, and he's not allowed to use that model anymore? So I was like, you know what, maybe that's what happened. Maybe that's what happened. It's either that or he realized that streaming is just not for him. Can you do that after you've paid for it? Absolutely. If you do not respect the TOS of an artist, like even after you get the product, they can take your rights away from using it. Because if I say you are not allowed to use my artwork in AI, and you as a customer end up using it as in an AI generator, I can absolutely take your rights away because you are violating my TOS. And I can it is absolutely legal that I keep your money and just tell you to fuck off. You're not allowed to use that anymore. And if you keep using that artwork, then I can like legally sue you. I can absolutely take you to court if you do not, respect that decision. Lots of artists will take you to court since it's easy dollars at that point. Exactly. It's easy money. So if you do, you gotta be careful with those TOS. Like it is a legally binding contract, as Amon said. If it's in the contract, I can absolutely take that away from you if you violate my TOS. I hope the artist sued and got the bag. I hope so too. Yeah, interesting. I feel kind of conflicted. I can see it from both sides. I mean, I can see it from both sides, but it is a contract nonetheless. I get that it's frustrating, but like if you fuck around and you eventually find out, that's absolutely on you as the customer. Same as always read the text on fanfictions. You should always read the TOS on commissions. Exactly. Fuck, I got polish on my keyboard. Oh no. Clean it off quick. Why did I read that as the nationality? Why do you have a Polish person on your keyboard? What are you doing, Nippy? Who is that? Shockingly enough, if you're a streamer, you're running a company. Yeah, exactly. It's self-employment. Yeah. It's pretty much self-employment in almost every country at this point. Here as well. I have to what do you call that? I had to get like a business license just for streaming after I got to affiliate on Twitch, because otherwise I would do this illegally, and the Austrian version of the IRS could absolutely fuck me up the ass if I didn't. A lot of VTubers do tax fraud though, so you know, I'd rather not be one of those. Twitch even reports to your government tax office. True. They do that. I generally don't get why some people invest so much into something to do it once or maybe a few more times and completely give up. Well, well, I kind of get it as I look into my hobby corner full of hobbies that I started and never touched again. But I don't understand 21k stuff, at least. I wouldn't spend thousands on a hobby that I would never touch again. But I still spend a lot of well, I used to spend a lot of money on hobbies that I eventually dropped because they couldn't keep my attention span. So I get it to some degree. I just don't get it in terms of rich people, I guess, because $21k is insane to me. Yeah, it's self-employment. That's why I quit streaming, because I can't be caught lacking having a job. I agree, Battle Bro. Don't be one of those normies with a job. I don't pay taxes anyways. Fight me, US. Oh, jeez. I'm making the statement of my own free will. Godspeed to you. Taxes are good and I always pay them. Alright, will you let me go now? Be careful, senpai. It's only self-employment in the US if you make over $400 per year, which is dumb. Is that really per year or per month? Like, is that really like the yearly limit? Damn. Okay. Because we have a monthly limit here of like... Well, it was like $350 5 years ago, but I'm not sure if that changed. But we have a monthly limit of like $350 where you can earn that much without you having to like pay taxes on it or like, you know, report it to the government. But $400 per year is kind of crazy. That's insane. That seems very low. Remember that big leak where there was remember that big leak there was of streamer data? The Danish government used that list to find people who committed tax evasion and then made a nice little guide for people to help them actually do it properly. No way. Well, at least they made a guide, I guess. I wish I had a guide back when I started. I had to figure everything out myself. I think it's quarterly in the US. Oh, okay. I think it used to be 2k, but our government hates us. Fair. The government doesn't like anyone. I don't pay taxes either. I don't make enough to qualify. Fair. Very fair. I mean, if they have 20k to blow on something and not commit to it, then that 20k is probably just pocket change to them. Very true, Retro. Very true. It's just so hard for me to... Like, that is just a concept that's so hard for me to grasp. Because I'm a poor-ass bitch, right? I could never even imagine just blowing 20k on something and then never using it again. That is like life-changing money for me, bro. Like, I just cannot wrap my head around that at all. Yeah, they realized people had no fucking clue how to report it. Yeah, I still don't. I just kind of wing it and hope it's okay. It used to be 10k before some unspoken guy ruined everything. There, Jesus. Oh god, senpai. Can I have my dog, please? That's crazy. It's easy, 20k to them is your 200. More like 20. In my situation anyway, but yeah. It's just such a crazy concept. So crazy to me. I just want to know how it feels to be that rich, you know? I was supposed to pay a tax this last tax season, but I made so little our tax agent told us not to worry about it, but pay it if the IRS approached us about it. I see. I see. 20k is a lot of money, and to see someone to spend it all is all that wildly unfathomable. It is. It is. Because as I said, that's like life, that would be life-changing money for me. Absolutely crazy. Hello, Kwan. Hello. Wait, I lost my train of thought. I bet they were an Amazon reseller. Do Amazon resellers still get a stupid amount of money? How does that business go these days? I don't need to be rich, I just want to be able to put my bills on autopay and not think about it. That is the level of rich I'm looking for. Yes, senpai, 100%. 100%. I just do not want to have to worry about bills ever again. And just eat a proper meal like once a day. That's all I want in life. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Honestly. Resellers are a big gray area. I mean, I hate resellers in general. I'm just wondering how their business goes these days. Because they used to make stupid money. I'm not a fan of them, but they used to make stupid money and a lot of people jumped onto that bandwagon. But I feel like it's like so oversaturated now that I just wonder if that kind of business model just kind of crashed in itself. I also had to teach our tax agent what a VTuber model was. How do you even approach that subject? I just, you know, that must be a weird conversation to have with a stranger. It's going great, especially now with Steam controllers. Oh, I see. Yeah. I can see that happening. They always will. I remember when selling Beanie Babies and Pokemon cards and the like was huge on eBay back in like 1997. Yeah, true. Damn. Do people still use eBay? Does anyone here still use eBay? I'm genuinely curious. See, I want to be a one-hit wonder, make one super hit of a song, and then that gets used in everything, and just live off the royalties of one song. That would be the dream. That would be the dream. Just live off royalties for the rest of your life. We decided to just call it an animatronic since he couldn't categorize a puppet. You know what? Animatronic makes sense, yeah. That makes perfect sense. Thank you for the head pet. Thank you. How are you, one? I use eBay for certain discontinued and retro electronics, but aside from that, yeah. But I'm just wondering, like, people that aren't into that stuff, like, do normie people use eBay still? That's my question. Why is this so... Hold on. My OBS is a bit messed up, I just realized. I'm pretty sure a big company is trying to buy eBay. GameStop? They tried and eBay rejected the offer. I mean, isn't GameStop kind of dying too? I'm not surprised. At least that's what I heard. That GameStop is kind of like just dying as well. I think digital puppet would be the best descriptor. True. Remember when Pokemon cards were meant for games instead of being kid-friendly gambling? Man, remember those days, huh? I remember those days. I mean, you're less likely to get robbed than if you use Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. Did my throwing system break again? Jade! My wife, hello! How are you? Jade, you missed my crash out over art fight. I talked to Jade about it yesterday as well, guys. Huh? Why? Hold on. It's still connected, so why? No bike, I'm sorry. Let me fix it real quick. Okay, gang, I have to paint with my non-dominant hand. Pray for me. I pray for you. I pray for you so hard. Bro, why do they do that to me? Yeah, we just had a whole ass discussion about it. Nobody is happy. Let me check, mix it up as well. Maybe something is broken and mix it up. Let me test it. There we go, now it works. Jade, I'll give you a refund after stream, unless one of the mods can do it. Well, not Nibby, but maybe Yumi can give you a refund, or Alpha. They say it's not even a new rule. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure at least the photo thing has never been a rule before. Unless I'm absolutely insane and just don't remember stuff. I don't think that's new. Well, I think that's new actually. I don't think that's always been there. Because I know I would have noticed that, and like I know I would have noticed that rule because I've read through all the rules before. Like years before. Shit, guys, I wanted to start playing the game like a fucking hour ago. Hold on, I want to play the game now. Also, guys, you know what I'm craving these days? Old school RuneScape. And I don't know why. I don't know why I suddenly want to play old school RuneScape again. I feel like it's a bad idea though. I don't think I should. Talk about getting heated and then yapping. Yeah, basically. I didn't really plan on doing so much yapping today. I really wanted to play this game. Okay, game capture. The way you said shit made me jump. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. But yeah, overcome your fears. I want to see how, if it's, because this actually looks a lot like Fears to Fathom. I just want to see if it's in any way similar, or if it has its own spin on it. Hello. There we go. I know Queso played it, but I didn't watch that video of him playing it because I wanted to play it myself. Did you play all the Fear to Fathom? I did not play all of them myself. I watched Nibby and Kana play them though. Was it Nibby? I think it was Nibby, yeah. I have a craving to play them all again. Me too. Would you guys want to watch me play the Fears to Fathom games? No, I'm on the wrong. Yes, okay. I don't need another nightmare. Too bad. Too bad. Okay, hold on. Okay, it's at least it's capturing the game. I'm not capturing the game sound yet because it's grating. Holy shit. Hold on, let me take care of everything else first and then we do the game sound. Okay. I also want to do... Hold on. I want to do the dynamic lighting sort of thing. It seems appropriate for horror games. Also, Jade, I didn't ask. How are you? I can't find it.
It's been 2 years.
Holy shit, 2 years already. Teddy, thank you so much for the resub. How are you, Teddy? Thank you, thank you. I'm sorry, I'm currently... There we go. Currently trying to set everything up for gaming. Okay, is this too dark? No, I think this is okay. Tired as heck, bro, but I'm used to that. I feel that. Alpha! You gotta stay, you gotta watch this. Alpha hates me, bro. I have 3 big fears: spiders, darkness, and the ocean. I understand the spiders, absolutely. Fucking hate spiders, dude. I gotta go for a bit. I'll be back. Thank you, Super. Be safe out there. Why can't I move my chat out of the way? Holy hell, fat ass. Okay. How can I be anything but well? Wait, how can I be anything but well when I am in voice chat with my you-know-who? Ah, that's so cute. Rude, honestly. Honestly, bro. Okay. Let me get rid of the background music real quick. Also, why... Hold on, why is Critter open? Let me close this real quick. Wait. Let me save this first. I don't think I saved this the past 3 hours or so. Okay. I fucking got X again, because Blue Sky is so weird with keeping up with people and it's so much less active. Yeah. You know, Blue Sky has its good sides, but the algorithm and the quote-unquote For You page is not it, bro. Unless you have, like, notifications on for specific people, it's fucking hard to keep up on Blue Sky. It is really... It had so much potential, too. And they keep improving the site. I don't want to speak ill of it too much, but they still have a lot of work to do, if you ask me. Okay, let me close these things. Okay. Okay, now I'll start the game sound. And you guys let me know if it's too loud. Can you guys hear what I meant with the grating sound? I've had this in my ear for the past 5 minutes. Okay, hold on. Did my category change? Better did. Let me refresh. I thought this was coming from IRL. Yeah. It's not. Sounds like the bad version of Delta Waves. Not wrong. Social media that intend to replace an existing one almost always fail. People just don't switch to something they already have, basically, yeah. Okay, guys. Spooky time now. I lurk while cleaning up 3,000 plus books in arcane library. Okay, Yumi, okay. Enjoy, Yumi. That sounds like your type of a good time. Okay, new game. Don't crash on me. Okay, there we go. May 24th. 6:43 p.m. Finally, school is over. Okay. I can't do anything. This is literally a cutscene. Good thing my friends asked me to look after the house while they are on vacation. It's a great chance to relax a bit. Does this game pause if I tab out? It doesn't. Guys, is the game too loud? I wonder how everything is set up at their place. Hopefully there won't be any surprises. No? Okay, okay. It's a good level right now? Okay. Alright, the main thing is not to forget to look for some side job while I'm here. Everything else is just details. How long are they on vacation that we need a side job? The neighborhood feels calm, and I can almost breathe freely. It's nice having a little forest nearby. Isn't this a perfect way to start the summer? Imagine breathing freely. Couldn't be me. Cinema, it took me 3 tries to type the words. Nippy, don't type. Well done, welcome to your new home for the next week. Generally, why do we need a side job for just a week? Can't we just relax? Okay, now I can actually move around. Oh, I can't go outside. Guys, I have something revolutionary to tell you. The mouse sensitivity is actually normal for once. It's not all over the place. Holy shit. I've never seen this happening before. Yeah, I don't have to adjust the mouse sensitivity, dude. Oh my god. That's crazy. What a crazy feeling. They told me the key wait, what? Somewhere here on the terrace. Here? There we go. Game of the... Honestly, game of the year. Holy shit. I think I'll start by looking around the house, wondering where I'm going to sleep tonight. Okay, let's close the door. Let's look around. Okay. Actually, let's keep this open. I understand what Queso means when he says, I immediately know the layout of this house, right? I feel like I already know where everything is. I found a book on spoiler prevention magic. Oh my god, can I have that? Wait, no, we're not watching TV yet. Oh, this is the back door. Okay. Cute. Oh, I feel like this is definitely not gonna be important at all. Good, good, good. Actually, can I already interact with this? No, okay. Second code time, I poof away. Okay, okay, okay. This game has a surge protector? Crazy. Oh no, I don't like this game. It's okay, Alpha. What's the worst that could happen? Can we... How far can we go out? To spook? No, Alpha, it's gonna be okay. Oh shit, I can actually walk around the neighborhood? Wait. Dude, I know this layout. This is the layout of Cock Simulator. I know this sounds terrible, but hear me out. This is the layout of Cock Simulator. Is this the same dev? Oh my god, not
Elia Peacock Canuppies.
No! No, Kenna! I'm sorry. No! Kana, thank you for the resub. Kana, how are you? Okay, let's pretend this did not just happen. Kana, hi, how are you? It's so good to see you. You asked that now, I'm sorry. I Oh my god, no, this is the worst thing that... How do you keep doing that? I don't understand. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know either. How do you keep doing that, Ellie? It's not just me. It's not just me. It happens to a lot of other people with Kana as well. A lot of other streamers just suddenly start talking. Oh, jeez. Somehow Kana always manages to walk in at the worst time. Oh, I can crouch. It even happens in servers? Yeah. Oh, man. At this point, I almost think Kana waits to resub on purpose for a moment like this. I don't... I think it's just her superpower. Honestly, I think it's just her powers. I wish I did, because then I could stop it. Oh my god. Oh, I found the bathroom. Can I pee? Can I flush the toilet? I can't. This isn't Game of the Year, guys. I can't flush the toilet. Okay. Well. I'm very sorry, Kana. I'm devastated, if that makes it any better. Can't piss, shit game. 0 out of 10, for real. Okay, let's go upstairs. Oh. Is this my bed? No. Wait. Oh, good. We have a mic meter. That's not foreshadowing anything. Great. I don't think it detects my mic though. And I think I prefer it that way. Not the mic meter. Yeah, you know what that means. Does this... Hold on. Looks like the light's not working. Okay. So this one is not working. What a surprise. Okay, I guess this is gonna be my room here. I haven't eaten anything yet today, so it might be a good idea to go to the kitchen and make a sandwich to eat. Okay. So far, this seems very familiar, not gonna lie. I'm gonna just turn all of the lights on. My mom isn't here to yell at me. Oh. Or Steve. Oh, our name is Steve. You can use the laptop if you need it. Password, Emily131. Okay. What is this handwriting? I don't know. Wait, this game did Fears to Fathom rename it? Or I think it's just a very similar idea. It is very close. It is very similar to Fears to Fathom. Oh wow, look at... Wait, let me move out of the way real quick. Look, we have our game here in the corner where I was. Also clicked on it and it says your. Already in the game. I can see you. Oh, good. Good. I love that. I love that. That doesn't make it any better. Oh, I got an achievement for that. I broke the 4th wall. Let's play Snake. Oh, okay. Oh, this has input delay. Okay. So this is the game, guys. Oh, it's like with spooky ghosts instead of apples. That's so cute. You built that wall back up right now? No. Oh my god. There we go. I want to know what happens when we die. You lost. Okay. Do we have other browser? What should we Google for? Oh wow, I'm so white. I'm like a ghost. What should we Google for? What would game developers put it? You know what? Okay, so. There's no way, bro. I fucking knew it. Everyone puts a fucking queso thing in their game these days. Kitty! Okay, you know what? That's cute. Wait, hello Queso, hello chat. I would like to thank you both. I would like to thank both Queso and his audience. You are all amazing. I saw the playthrough of the demo, and for the rest of the days, I simply couldn't wipe the smile off my face. Thank you all. Wait, that's so cute. This is my first release. Just 10 months ago. I was just starting to figure out how the game engine works, and now such a respected streamer is playing my game. I hope the full game doesn't disappoint. Wait, that is so cute. Oh my god. No way. Wait, I want you guys to see my mouse too. Let me fix that real quick. Capture cursor, there we go. So wait, let me move out this way. Look, it's Kitty. You know what? This is really cute. The Waffle House one is diabolical though. What the fuck? I don't watch him, but I appreciate him so much. Any clip I see is so nice and funny. Yeah, he is one of the few streamers I still watch. I have to watch his YouTube uploads because he streams at an ungodly time for me. But sometimes he is the only thing that saves my day. I love this. Hold on. How do I... you said Markiplier as well? No. Damn. Who else? What a shame. PewDiePie? I don't think I don't think people put PewDiePie in games anymore because he doesn't play games anymore. No. Queso was a given though. Queso is exactly the type of streamer that will play this game. Nissim, maybe. Hold on. No. No. Okay. Who else? Wait, how do I type his name? Not like this. Ellie Redact. Yes, okay, sure. I don't exist. I can. The fish nibbler. Damn, my Oshis don't exist, bro. Then who am I watching right now? I'm just... Nibby, we went over this. I'm in your head. Please go take your medicine. Take your pills. It's time, Nibby. You need to take your pills. Ah, shit. Hold on. No, no, no. I want to keep using the PC. I will not. That's crazy. Smithy mentioned? Yeah. Okay, all my friends disappear when I take those. It's mostly queso, and then depending on the age of the death, they might add Markimu or Jacksepticeye. True, true. What's flax? Oh. I don't fucking know. You know what? I don't like this game. What's memory game? Wait, what the hold on, what was I looking at? Were those body bags? That's literally all I paid attention to. What was that? Hold on. Is this foreshadowing? Okay. That's all I remembered. Oh. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Easy. New folder. What's in the folder? More kitty. Guys, look, it's a kitty. Oh my god. Oh, it's
What
oh
the
my
dog
god.
doing?
It's so cute. Hello, Nathaniel. Hello, hello. Thank you for the follow. Wee wee wee. Where's the porn for? Fuzzy. Fuzzy, no. It's so cute they put all these minigames in while learning game development. Yeah, I love that. I really love that. Okay, Kana, thank you for the lark. I love you too. Ellie's list of priorities: Kermit, Leon Kennedy, piss, lobotomies, body bags, and XX Shadowlord for 20XX. Don't even try to get her to pay attention to anything else. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Question mark? Oh, no, 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 no. No, no spiders. Even cat spiders are not good. Guys, it's Nibby. Holy shit. I think the hierarchy of Leon depends on if he's right in front of her at the time of pulling or not. Can I go lark? Anyways, that hierarchy is not completely correct. Number 1 is always Grahatia. Since you know him now, Teddy, I would like respect on this man's name. It's not Baja Blas, it's Grahatia. Go away. Shut Teddy up. Okay, I guess that's it. It's not skateboard either. I don't... Does Teddy know about the skateboard incident? I just want to know. Because I don't want him to be influenced. What? Oh. He's here tomorrow. I will bonk him thoroughly. Graha blast is great. Graha can blast. Never mind. Never mind. I don't think so. Okay. Don't ever talk about the skateboard incident. Let's watch TV. Of course we have no signal. Okay, let's make some food. But it's funny, it's not. Who keeps their bread in the fridge? Cheese? Wait, what do I do? Oh. Oh, okay. Cheese? Me? You... Why? It keeps from going more. I mean, yeah, I put bread in the freezer to keep it for longer. You know what? Okay, moon. That is fair. That is fair. That is fair.
Cheese.
I usually eat my bread. I usually eat my loaf of bread too quickly for it to even go moldy, honestly. I'm such a whore for bread. I love bread. Oh, I'm scared of it having gross eating sound. Yeah. Okay. I don't like eating sounds. Elliot's hailing again. Call it off, please. No. What did the game say? I didn't pay attention. What did the game say? Oh, use the laptop. Never mind. It tells me on the top right there. We got walnut bread from a new bakery. Oh my god, I love walnut bread. I love walnut bread. Oh, it prompts me to use the laptop now. I already used it though. I want to learn how to make bread. Do you want to learn how to make normal bread or sourdough bread? Because both of those things are very fun. Oh, 1311, I think. So what do I use the laptop for now? Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I can just go to sleep now. It's time to go to bed. It's getting dark. I want a bread machine so I can dump all the ingredients. Honestly, a bread machine would be the dream. I would love to have a bread machine, even like just one of the cheap ones. It's good enough for the small bread, for the small loaves I make anyways. What's this? Oh, it's newspaper. I can't put the newspaper down. I guess I'm gonna go sleep with the newspaper. First I need... Fine, we turn off the lights. Do I need to turn off all of the lights? Or just... Sourdough? I'm terrified of handling the starter dough. It might die in my presence. It's okay. If you need any sourdough tips, especially like for the starters, hit me up. I can probably help you. Loading. May 25th, 3:25 a.m. What? Oh my god, we're up early. What happened? I'm insanely thirsty. Need to grab some soda from the fridge. If you're thirsty in the middle of the night, go drink fucking water. Not soda. See, this is what happens when you want to drink soda in the middle of the night. How unhealthy are we? Our starter died when we moved. Oh no. Also, Teddy, I agree. Cheesecake is goated. Bro, it's so dark. Wait, who moved the flower pots? Were they always here? I thought they were over here. Soda at night? No, for real though. Who drinks soda at night? Oh my god, bro. Are you serious? That was so unnecessary. What the fuck are you doing here? Wait, the stranger. What are you doing here? Who are you? What are you doing on my property at this hour? Sorry, I'm from the neighboring house. Heard some noise, and when I saw you, I thought you were a thief. This is my friend's house. They asked me to keep an eye on it. What are your friends' names? Oliver and Emily. What am I doing here, motherfucker? What are you doing here? Oh, and honestly, what the fuck? Why drink soda at night when you can drink milk? I don't want to shit my pants in bed. That's why I don't drink milk at night. I don't know about you though, Retro. I got one of those air up bottles. It works insanely well. I fucking hate those. Those don't do shit to me, Teddy. But I'm glad it works for you at least. I just drink straight water like a fucking normie anyways. Easy fix, Elle, you sleep on the top. You're so right. An even easier fix would be sleeping in diapers. Yeah, I know them. Alright, that's a relief. Why is this dude here? At 3:25 a.m. What are you doing here? Why are you not asleep? So you're here all alone watching the house? Aren't you scared being out so late? Yeah, alone. Why should I be scared? This is such a guy mentality. Yeah, why should you be scared? I wonder. 3:25 a.m. and his damn button up, right? Like, I feel like he was... Like... He pisses me off already. What's your name? Neighbor. Neighbor is pissing me off already. He was probably out fucking killing people. Hehe, kids these days. Don't even read the papers, do you? No idea what's going on around here. Am I fucking hallucinating, or is there a face in the background? Wait, you guys can't see it. Bro, I swear... Hold on. Hold on. There's someone standing there. Isn't that a head? Am I fucking insane? That's a head, right? I can't fucking tell, bro. Hold on. You know what? I'm gonna move myself down a bit. I just want to know. I'ma just peek out for now. You guys let me know if that dude moves back there, because I feel like that's a person. Well, actually it's a forehead, not just... Sark, shut the fuck. Be quiet. I'm scared. Hold on. Okay. What do you mean? People say there's a killer around these parts. They found a man's body in the woods the other day. Thanks for the heads up, I'll be careful. I'd better get to bed. Sorry again for spooking you. Good night, thanks for checking in. Did you see that? Did you see that? It moved. There was a guy here. Bro, who was that? Did you guys see that? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna follow him though. I'm shitting. Me too. Oh my god, I can't follow him. This bitch ass. Who's watching us? I didn't see shit, but I'm blind. I know I'm not alone. At least other people saw it too, so I'm not crazy. Wait, hold on. Let's kill him before he kills us. I agree. This is the strangest situation that has ever happened to me. Gotta grab a drink and figure out what just happened. I wanna go home. You left the door open while having a long conversation out there? Well, yeah, I did. This is on me. If I die, it's on me. Okay. Of course you're not alone, Ellie. We're all with you in your head. That's reassuring. I just wanna what? You know what? Is now something on TV? No signal still. Ah, shit, I picked this up. Wait. $3:32? Wait. What is this? Oh boy. What the fuck is that? Why are we zooming in on your nipple? That's his nipple, right? What the fuck is he talking about? You know what? You know what? We're not gonna watch TV again. I can't put this down, bro. How do I put shit down? Welcome back, Kitsune. Right. Well, you know what? This did not just happen. Nothing happened just now. My soda is in the fucking magazine. Alright. Maybe I can understand this man's concern. But to stay at this hour and go to someone else's backyard for the sake of justice? This is all incredibly strange. Anyways, gotta try to get some sleep. Yeah, no shit, it's strange. Welcome back, Floresta. How was your lunch? Thank you. And before random forehead in a window? I'd rather not. I wonder if we can see something though.
Water, you dehydrated bitch.
I drink. What is that? Who is driving around at 3:25 a.m.? What is this game about? That's a good question. We're house sitting, and we've just met the strange neighbor, and that is all I know. Throw it out the window. I want to put this magazine down. Okay, before we go to sleep, I'm gonna pause here real quick because I really gotta piss. Like, I gotta piss badly. Do you guys want to do guessing games? Gardic? No? Okay. We do Gardic then.
What are you? An idiot sandwich.
I am. No, I need to work too fucking bad. Okay. Your favorite game? I'm going to... No, Nibby, do you hate me? Nibby hates me, bro. She never wants to play games with me. My massive golden balls? Okay, I will come back to that. I will go piss real quick. What the fuck? Bro, did the stream just die for a second? I'm curious. It did? Okay, because my lights flickered for some reason. I don't know what the fuck that was. Okay, you guys are free. Hello, Einstein. I didn't piss on the router, not this time. I don't know what that was. Like, even my lights flickered for like a split second. I have no idea what the fuck happened. Einstein, not now. Hold on. Weird, very. It's like my piss triggered something. You guys, maybe refresh the stream real quick so you're not super delayed, because that happens sometimes. An outage for a fraction of a second? I don't know. Maybe. It was very strange. I never had that happen before. Hold on. Einstein wants attention. At least piss was too powerful? I think so. It definitely was powerful. What is it, Einstein, huh? What is it? Well, I hope that doesn't happen again. If it does, I'm gonna end stream, because I'm kind of scared. Okay, wait. What was that about golden balls? My massive golden balls. Romance novel. I needed that recommendation. Okay. Let me get situated real quick. Einstein, what is it? Hmm? You know what? I'm gonna go get Einstein a snack real quick. So he doesn't yell into my ear all the time. I shall be right back. Again, I'm sorry. I'll be quick. What is this conversation right now? I'm sorry, what? Your tits are lacking is crazy, holy hell. Okay. Desk and monitor are cleaning. Oh my god. At least they aren't lactating. True. Okay. The cats should be satisfied for at least 10 minutes. So we can move on with the game. Resume. Well, I guess I'm gonna go to sleep with this magazine this time. Oh my god. Can I keep this one on? Yeah, I can. Okay. He just doesn't want the big light on. May 25th, 9:17 a.m. Not even closing the door, you're right. Retro, be safe out there. It was an anxious night, but anyways, it's time to get up. Okay. Where did my magazine go? Who the heck is knocking this early? It's almost 10 a.m. It's not that early. Who is knocking though? Guess it was the mail. Why would the mailman knock? Do mailmen knock in the fucking US? Breaking news. F to read. Okay. I'd kill my mailman if he knocked. Yeah, me too. I would be so fucking annoyed. Like for packages, yeah. Ring the doorbell. But for normal mail, no. Fuck off. Okay. Exciting discounts at 612. Attention shoppers, 612 is thrilled to announce a range of exciting discounts this week. Whether you are stocking up on essentials or treating yourself to something special, we've got you covered. 20% off all beverages, including our wide selection of juices and sodas. Okay, I'm here now and ready to actually eat someone out. Welcome back, Gracie. I like the ominous music to someone knocking on the door at 9:17 a.m. Oh no, normal human interaction. Yeah, I would be terrified too. I don't like people. Fresh produce sale. Enjoy up to 30% off on selected fruits and vegetables. Eat healthy and save more. Hurry in today and take advantages of these fantastic deals. Offers valid while supplies last. See you at 612. Express news. Adults and children do not go into the forest at night. This is how Sergeant Mark Mitchell commented on the tragic situation after they found a lifeless body this morning. An eyewitness, having decided to take an early walk in the forest, accidentally stumbled upon the body. Frightened, he immediately called the police and led them to the crime scene. After examining the body, the forensic expert stated that the body was fresh. The murder was committed at around 2 a.m. The circumstances are not yet identified. The body was horribly mutilated. It's hard to believe that a human could have done this. Be careful on the streets at night. You think it was that neighbor who fucking showed up in our backyard at 3 a.m.? Well, I'd be bothered too if somebody knocked on the door. I was house sitting because it's not my house. Who are you people? No, literally. That too. That's another thing. This isn't even our house. Oh, gee. Okay, thanks for letting me know I can drop stuff with G. I need to check if there's anything to eat in the fridge. I'm terribly hungry. It was the head. Oh yeah, or the dude that was watching us. There's absolutely no food. I need to go to the store. I'll buy some noodles. We literally have sandwich stuff here. What are you talking about? And, I don't know, fish? There's fish down here too. We have plenty of food. Of course, G is for grub, which is the gamer way to say drop. Honestly, Zerg, you're right. I should have guessed. I should have known that it was G. He probably murdered some random guy since he couldn't kill us because of the neighbor. Oh, maybe. Maybe. You might be onto something. Which way do I go? Oh, okay, it's not this way. It's... okay. Space to sump.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
I will. Hello. Wait, are you not wearing a shirt? Is he topless? Why are you walking around half naked? Weirdo. Might be a hot day. Well, but it doesn't really... What the fuck? Neighbor? What are you doing? Hello? Hello. Oh. Oh. This old man is getting weirder and weirder every day. Yeah, no shit. So that looked promising. His friends are dead. I don't know. Oh. What's happening here? Hey. Nails finally painted. Let's go. Okay, we got our store here. This seems kind of out of place in this neighborhood. Is it just me? Is this a normal, like, sight in neighborhoods like these? Just like a convenience store in the middle here? No, it's not normal? Okay. I'm not sure. I'm never really sure. They look questionable, but for only painting them once in a million years, they don't look too bad. Fair. Not normal, but it's a dream, is it? Conquer the Alps with us. $39. Hello, old man. Okay. Hello. You're welcome. Thank you. Hello. I want to go to the cheese section. This would make a good ramen. You're right, but I want cheese. Wait, what? Oh. Why are you lying to me? There's no cheese here. What the fuck? Hi, Singer. How are you? Oh. Cereal. Yeah, honestly... There's no... this isn't cheese either. Where's the cheese? I feel lied to. This is not the cheese section. Cheese in a bottle, just like the Norwegians. I refuse. I think 1 pack is enough. We can go to the checkout. Okay. I'm good, just EP, just got home from work. I hope work was okay for you today. Did you know the tallest building is the Mile Mall? Its height is 910 meters and it is located in Miorna. How cool. Tint cheese? I refuse the existence of tint cheese. 1 package of ramen, that will be $2.99. Thank you for buying. Goodbye. I almost said $12.99 because that sounds way more believable than $2.99. Is it just me? Hello? Hey, take care of yourself. It's a turbulent time. Thank you. Thank you, kind old man. $3 for 5 pack? Yeah, honestly, $12.99 sounded way more reasonable. Fucking inflation. $2.99 for 5 packs of ramen, yeah. Like it was a whole pack. There's at least 5 packs of ramen in there. Hello? Oh, someone's sitting there. Hey man, wait up! For a second I thought he was naked too. Oh, I know you from the card game. Why does Emily have a card game of her neighbors? What the fuck did you just pick up? Is that money? Good afternoon, you wanted something? Here you are walking home in your thoughts and you didn't notice at all what's going on around you. It's good that I'm observant and noticed from my porch how money fell out of your pocket. If it weren't for me, you would be without it now. You could spot a forehead behind a fence, but you couldn't see a guy sitting in front of his house. Shut up, bro. You think so much about people being naked? Does it mean you want another pic of my naked feet? No, thank you, Greasy. That's so rehearsed, right? Also, that's a $100 bill, yeah. Oh, you're right. These are my money. That's right. You see how considerate people can be. What kind of psycho sentences are these? Alright, man. Have a good day. Glad I could help. Have a good day. Thank you again. Okay. Oh wait, that's the guy that did something here. In the garage, or whatever the fuck you call that in English. Did that bike miss, or did it not work again? Okay, it just missed. Okay. Bikes keep missing. Hehe.
Stop it. Get some help.
You know, the chance for it to miss isn't even that high. You guys are just really unlucky. Yeah, bro is naked. Wait, where's my house? Not this one.
Cheese.
Cheese. Cheese. Okay, here. Almost home. I can't wait to eat. I have to go straight to the kitchen. What was that about the side job we needed? Do we actually have to look for a job? Because that seems silly. For being here for just a week. Just have a holiday or something. There's a lot of windows. Okay, just making sure nobody is hiding in here. Unlucky? If I am that unlucky, I should gamble at the casino till I am lucky again? Yeah, that's how it works. Good luck. Okay. Cook the ramen. Oh.
I am the storm that is approaching.
Hello, raiders! Welcome in, welcome in! Tomu, thank you so much for the raid! Thank you for bringing your community over! How are you? What were you up to? Tormented Souls 2. What is that game? Did you have a good stream? Hi, how are you? I hope you had a good time. If you need to rest up and just lurk, feel free to do that. I know it's very important to take care of you after stream. But if you want to hang around, hell yeah. I had so much fun. Yeah, let's go. Ocean, hello.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
I will drink. But yeah, thank you for bringing your community over. We are playing a spooky game today. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're just hanging out today. We're having a good, cozy time today. With a few spooks. Tormented Souls is like a Resident Evil style game. It's awesome. Oh, I'm gonna look into that. That does sound very interesting. I'm gonna go lurk and eat some food. Hope you're having a fun. Thank you. Yeah, go have some good food. Thank you again. Go rest up. Go rest up. Do it. We're about to eat ramen, I think. Did I already cook the ramen? Yeah, I guess I'll eat in the living room while watching TV. Okay. Jeez. Time to bust out my Capri Suns. And then bust again, because Capri Suns are so good. Wait, I don't want to watch TV. Is it a weird thing gonna... Is it gonna be the weird thing? Yeah, it is. Okay, where the fuck is my ramen? Oh, wait. I didn't pick it up. Hi, Einstein. What? What is it, Fuzzy? Do we have... I don't want to watch it. I guess I'll have to watch it. Fuck. I am concerned about how much info you have on me. You should be concerned. How do I watch TV? Hold on. Ah, there we go. Now I can sit down. Left mouse button to eat. I am pressing it. Oh, we have to go. We have to sit through this stupid thing again. Okay, we're again, I know you guys can't see it, but we're slurping the noodles right now. Come on, eat faster. I don't want to watch all of this. There we go. Do we really have to? Okay, we have to sit through this. Oh, okay, no, we didn't. Okay. Thank fucking God. Panic, Daddy is gone. Don't panic, it's okay. 1:03 a.m. Okay. I dozed off. I gotta take this plate to the sink. How do you doze off to something like that on the TV? Don't worry, I'm back now. That's crazy. You're not stealing my daddy title. There's no way someone's outside my... Someone's outside my window. Did he sleep the entire day? I think so. I think he did. It was just my imagination, right? I don't think it was. I'm afraid I wasn't imagining things, and someone really is wandering on my backyard. I'll take the knife and check. Hell yeah, we have a knife. For once, we actually get a weapon. Wait, I don't want to go outside, though. Call the cops. All he did was go to the store and eat ramen. That's a busy day, Fuzzy. That is a very busy day. Also, why should I check here? Like, he was on... hold on. Why should I check the backyard? He was out there. We can't even go... Somebody moved my... Oh. My chair... Oh my god. Strange, I don't remember leaving a chair here. Yeah, he used the chair to climb over the thing. Also, Einstein, what are you doing? Okay, he used the chair to climb over the fence. Why check the backyard with... Why don't we have a flashlight? Bro, it's dark. Seems like there's no one here. I'd better go into the house and get some sleep. I guess I've been pretty stressed these past 3 days. We didn't even check where he is, where he actually is. He's like literally over there somewhere. We didn't check over there. I fucking hate this dude. Steve, you're a fucking idiot. You're stupid. That's also a way to use a cockchair. True. Can we go to sleep with the knife at least? Forget that why? Don't these people have decent lights in their yeah, I don't even know, dude. I don't know. Let me check. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Lucy is complaining. I'll be right back real quick. Okay. I might have to put Einstein on his timeout chair. He only wants to fight with Lucy today. I don't know what's going on. Is nobody in here? Well, honestly, have we ever fixed the lights here? No. I hate how dark it is in here.
Drink water, you dehydrated bitch.
I will. Maybe Einstein has ball cramps. He doesn't have balls, bro. Give them treats. They just had the best treats ever. You know what? I'm gonna keep this one open just in case. But yeah, they will get more treats right after stream. I promise. Hi, IT support here. Have you tried turning the light off and on again? You're right. I should try that. Can we lock the door? No. Okay. Well, I'm going to sleep with my knife. Can I also get treats after stream? No. Need to put the knife... Ugh. Put it under your pillow. Mean? That's crazy. Put it in your pants. I agree. 9:59 a.m. Hello? Oh god, what is happening? Is that a big-ass light switch? Okay, we're having one hell of a dream, it seems. What the fuck? Oh, that's okay. 9:59 a. Oh, wow. Okay, I feel like these are supposed to be body bags, but they just look like normal trash bags. But I guess these are body bags. Oh, hello. Is it the neighbor? Einstein just wants some mathematics books so he can be relative smarter than the average cat. You're right. I should give him some books. Raw wood. Raw wood. Amateur. I'm not laughing at that. Raw wood whispers broken clocks. I'm sorry. Raw wood whispers broken clocks. What are you talking about? Stars shatter on the cracks, like ice in the fingers of the wind. Okay, so seems like this is stream speech. Nothing makes sense. Shadows run across the glass and scream without a tongue. Dead flowers chew emptiness, and flesh bites bone. I don't understand anything. This is This is pretty accurate on how people talk when you're having like a really weird dream. Like how they're talking in your dream. Also, welcome back, Retro. Eyes burn in the tree, and the wind cuts the white paint and laughs with its teeth. I don't understand. Where am I? Blood drips into the silence. Bug stands on the nerves of the God-forsaken, and the night tears up maps and throws them into the windows. Dust dances in mouths and burns with cold. It's a pity the nails cry in the wine. Nothing makes sense, bro. POV, you just woke up and someone tries talking to you. Literally. This is literally how it feels. Wake up. Wake up! Yeah, I think I should wake up now. Give him a thumbs up and go, okay, buddy. Okay, but 10 a.m. That was a very, very strange dream. Need to get up. Really need to use the bathroom. Please give me a pissing minigame. Please give me a pissing minigame. What the fuck is this NPC side quest dialogue? I have no idea, bro. Please give me a pissing minigame. Please give me a pissing minigame. Relieve yourself. Alright, perfect. Okay, game of the year. Wash hands, okay. I think you spilled a bit? No way. I have perfect aim. People pissy. Teehee. No soap? Okay. Well, I've been meaning to look for a part-time job. Oh, now we look for the part-time job. You should probably clean up the piss. Honestly. Alright, let's go look for a job. You didn't piss in the sink like a gamer. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I failed all of you. You can unfollow and unsubscribe now. Wait, is this where we even... I don't even know if this is where we look for a job. I just assume. Maybe not. Browser? Job? Wait, oh. Oh, it's... okay. It's typing for me. I see how it is. Part-time job. Wait. For summer. Fast money. Not legal. Come... oh. Okay. I like the first one. Fast money. Not legal. Come in. Part-time job for winter holidays. Part-time job for teenagers during holidays. Flexible schedule. Workers needed for a game dev company full-time. Memes about part-time jobs, the funniest memes of the day. Vacancies for developers and IT specialists. Learn how to create passive income quickly without SMS and registration. Build a career in the creative industry. Find your dream job freelancing. Fast loans without references and care. I like the first one. Oh, I can't. I can't click on it. I want to do the first one. Never piss in the sink, at least if you're very young, and do it in school. They will haunt for the... oh my god. Yeah, okay. Please let me complain about a job listing I saw recently. Okay, Nibby, please complain. I want to hear about it. I guess we have to use this one. Yeah. Summer job. Your perfect summer starts here. We have summer camp, a cafe, or... oh, Ironbark Lookout. Okay, so I noticed that this developer is working on episode 2 of this game series, and I think it is about a lookout, so maybe these are all teasers of upcoming games. But this is just, like... a super wild guess. But yeah, this is like, yeah. I feel like they're copying a little bit too. Maybe this is just a reference though. But hold on, let me make sure I'm actually correct. Because I feel like they're also working on episode 2 with a lookout thing. A lighthouse. Okay, they're working on one with the lighthouse. Okay, okay. So it's not a look. I mean, I guess it's kind of a lookout still, but it is a lighthouse they're working on. Okay, I see. I think the Iron Bark was literally the name of... Hold on, let me see. Oh my god. Years. I think you're right, though. Yeah, Iron Bark Lookout. You're right, Jade. That is a Fears to Fathom game. So I think this one is just a nod to one of that. To that game. So maybe this isn't foreshadowing of other games. A summer camp thing would be cool, though. Okay, wait, let me see. For a second I thought Cozy Cafe also said per week. That's crazy. Wait, by the way, Ellie, you know my Microslop shirt? I wore it to a meeting with our Microsoft rep on Monday. As punishment, I am demoted to just driving the forklift for the rest of the week. Thanks to my vacation only today and tomorrow. Are you serious? They actually demoted you for that? Wait, I want the whole story for that. What else did they say? Okay, hold on. Let me read what Nibby wrote. Hold on. Let me pull this over here. Okay. Okay, so it was for a Discord server moderator. Easy money, right? Wrong, because the dumb crypto bros not only want you to have strong crypto knowledge, but also want you to have a bachelor's degree. I'm sorry, what? Listed as a hard requirement, not a nice to have. It was so stupid. Look, oh my god, what? For a Discord server moderator? What kind of fucking server moderator are we talking about? Free cash? A bachelor's in what? I don't think they have a bachelor's of science Discord moderator. Exactly. That's the thing. It didn't even specify. It just said you needed one. What? Bro. Iron Bark. Yeah. This is the Fears to Fathom game. Like, it's a nod to it. Bro, that is so stupid. Literally, just keeping discussions on topic. Why would anyone need a bachelor's for that? I don't know. I feel like that listing was made by Discord mods to make themselves feel better or something like that. I don't fucking know. What kind of knowledge do you need to be a Discord moderator? That is so dumb, bro. Oh my god. Wait, hold on. Let me check the streams real quick. Did the Twitch stream like completely reset when we had that drop? No, I don't think so. I'm still live for 2.5 hours. Okay. I'm gonna check YouTube real quick as well. Just in case. Okay, no, YouTube is also still running. Okay, cool. Because I got an email for a stream analysis stuff. So I was like, wait, did all of the streams reset? Jeez. I'm 100% it's less an official demotion, more like if you think these meetings are so funny, you can just do the lower no brain work instead. Most people in the meeting found it very funny. A certain manager with a fetish for Copilot and the MS representative didn't find it so funny. When asked when asked why, I said because I'm very open about my opinion of Microsoft implementing AI everywhere instead of fixing their damn products. And I giggled while explaining, but it's not like I lost my position. I was just let out another department for the rest of the week. I see. I see. I'm sorry, a fetish for Copilot? That's great. Yeah. I'm not even surprised. If they had a bachelor, they would be overqualified to be a Discord mod. Yeah, exactly. This is so dumb, bro. You need a bachelor's in falling for crypto scams. Not wrong. Not gonna lie, out of watching all the Fears to Fathom, Ironbark was my favorite. I barely remember anything of the Fears to Fathom games, so I'm pretty excited to actually play them again. On stream this time, so you guys can actually watch. It did the Twitch thing when you came right back? Oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. What is this email then, bro? That's weird. I want to say worth it, but to be honest, the forklift work is fucking stressful when you're not used to it. Not wrong. It can be pretty stressful. But yeah, wait, but we're back in just chatting for some reason, so that reset. That reset for some reason. Okay, let me fix that. Let me fix that real quick. Thank you for the lark, Nibby. Okay. That reset right around getting raided. Why would that reset, bro? I'm so confused. I'm glad I have that bot message that tells me like every 15 minutes what I'm playing, because otherwise I would not have noticed. Pisses me off. Your stream element even announced it, thought that was you. No, why would I? Why would I reset it? I was still playing the game. Because Twitch is a perfect and bug-free platform, not wrong. But yeah, if you guys see the category change for whatever reason, mid-game, please let me know. Because that should not happen. It's pissing me off a little bit. Okay. Alright, anyways, back to the game. Let's see what kind of job we can take. Summer camp counselor. Discover a world of adventure and fun by working as a counselor at a summer camp. Help children grow, organize games and activities, and spend an unforgettable summer outdoors. This is an ideal option for those who love kids and active recreation. Age requirements 16 plus. Approximate salary 200 to 400 per week. Often includes room and board. It better include room and board. The fuck are you on about? Cozy Cafe. Looking for a job where you can develop communication skills and earn tips? Join our Cozy Cafe's team. Prepare delicious coffee and interact with customers and become part of a dynamic atmosphere. 16 plus, 10 to 15 per hour plus tips. An Ironbark Lookout for lovers of solitude and nature. A unique opportunity to become a fire lookout at Ironbark. Observe the vast forests, ensure safety, and spend your summer away from the city hustle, enjoying breathtaking views. 20 plus years old. Okay. Alright, I see.
Have you overcome a fear of your birthday? 3.
No, I haven't. There's gonna be no birthday celebration this year. But hi, Crookie. Thank you for the resub. Thank you, thank you. Can we have the Ironbark one? Oh, I can. Hold on. You guys don't see it, but I can apply to all of these. But thank you, Crookie. I hope you're doing well. Let's apply to Ironbark Lookout. Man, too bad I'm only 19. That sounds seriously awesome. I'll definitely check it out when I'm older. Okay. I'm coming to your birthday party, Ellie. There is going to be no party. Do we want summer camp? I like the Cozy Cafe one. I'm a apply to this one. Oh, I have to... Hold on. Is it gonna type for me again? Yeah, it is. Steve Jackson, blah, 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 gmail.com. Why are you the ideal... Oh, okay, this one doesn't fill it out for me. I have big pee-pee and gay. Apply. Nice! Looks like mail again. Need to pick it up. Stop. Okay, you know what? Hired. Hired! I got a job! Doing... I sent a message on it for later, but I'm okay. Oh, okay. I will read it later then. Have big peepee, a major aura plus gay. Hell yeah, I win at life. Okay, space to get up. Okay. Who is at the door this time? I doubt it's Mel. This bro is so unnecessary. I swear to God. Ellie, there's a man at the door. I should not have opened the door. Gotcha. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah. I can't watch shit. Why did I jump? I'm sorry, Alpha. I told you to be more careful. See, you're not at all ready for scary and serious things. How could I have been prepared for some guy I last spoke to in the backyard at night to come back a couple of days later and jump at me on my own porch? Hey, don't be so mad. I meant well. Is that Darbo? Hello, hello. Milarky, you cool. Caveman out unga bunga. Thank you, Darbo. Thank you for the lark. Thank you. It's good to see you. Ah, I see the local schizo has arrived. I saw the way he ran on all fours at the door for no reason. Ah, I hate this dude, bro. Why does he keep doing this? Why do we always have weird neighbors? That's the sound I make when some strangers try to talk to me? Yeah, for real. The naked guy in the background is just a cherry on top. I hate this neighborhood. Not gonna lie, I wasn't scared. I mean, it didn't get me either, but I don't know why he's so intent on scaring us all the time. I meant well, so did my shotgun idiot. Welcome to America. Where is our gun? Where is our gun? I want my gun. Okay, alright, maybe you're right. I saw the news in the paper. Thanks again for worrying about me that night. That's my purse, I don't know you. I'm back. What I miss? Just really fucking weird neighbors, Ellie. We have fucking weird neighbors. But welcome back. I hope your appointment went well. Hehe, you see, the things I've seen over the years. In any case, always happy to help. Hee. Can you stop hee-heeing? Hee-heeing. Yeah, thanks a lot. Alright, kids. See you around. Never. We'll definitely see each other again. What do you mean? Strange man. I don't understand him at all. What is his name anyways? What's his name? Okay, I think I've had enough of uninvited guests. I better lock both doors and try my best to not open them, even if someone knocks. Yeah. I'm not supposed to open these doors anyways. Nobody's supposed to be home. Something's wrong. Of course something's wrong with the lock. Wait, what did he say? I think a screwdriver might help. It should be somewhere in the chest drawers near the laptop. I want to get food. How much longer will we have Ellie time? I'm not sure how much longer this game is gonna last. But go get food, Nibby. Go get food. It's okay. I wonder if he likes Michael Jackson. Maybe. Maybe he does. His name is Bob Evans. Here? Oh no, I sat down. I'm an idiot. Hold on. Okay. Okay, there's nothing. Okay. No. I found it. Okay. So So you're telling me these past 2 days this guy didn't lock the door, even with some guy sneaking around? No, honestly, why are we always playing fucking idiots? I told you Steve is a dumbass. Like, you just sleep in this house and never lock the door for 2 days straight? What is wrong with you? Fix the door. Keep the slider. Oh, it's the... Wait, oh, I'm... Okay. It's the Stardew fishing game. I got this. I don't think I got this. There we go. Okay, lock this door. Thank you. Let's just not leave the house until Emily and whoever the fuck are back. Need to take the screwdriver back to the chest of drawers? Okay. Somebody kill me for saying that? That's crazy. Why would I lock my door? If I lock in, then someone who wants to be promoted from robber to missing persons won't come in? You're not wrong. Wait, did I put it back? Is it getting dark? Why am I passing out? "1:57 a.m. We can never sleep through a whole night soundly. Tonight, this thick sense of dread won't leave me. Not a single day in this house has felt calm. The neighbor acted so strangely yesterday. What did his words mean? We'll definitely see each other again. I just want my friends to return and to drive back home." We walked here. What do you mean drive back home? We were literally walking in the beginning. There's no driving for you. The town seems hushed. After the murder in the news, people lock their doors earlier, and even the wind tries to whisper softer. If someone knocks again, I'll be ready. Or at the very least, I'll try to believe that. I don't think we're ready at all, Steve. Oh, there we go. What the hell? Something clearly broke on the first floor. Ah, we're gonna die. Where's my knife? My knife isn't here. Great. Oh my god, what do we do? Hello? We're about to get chumped, guys. Get ready. Ew! We have a... Oh my god. Okay, I know where to hide. There's no way this is... Why is this door jammed? Okay, well, it's not detecting my mic, so I can still yap. Hello? Oh, wait, is it detecting? No, it's not. Okay. It looked like it was detecting for a second. Where is he? Where's Bro? How long do I hide? You know what? I'll just hide. I'll just hide forever. I'll hide until the sun comes back up. Look, calling the police is just needless busy work. They gotta come out, deal with the robber. That's paperwork too, what a pain. Oh, he's here. Oh my god. It's not like anyone here knows the robber is here anyway. I'm just being considerate by handling it. Oh my god, he's coming closer. Why is he fucking whistling? Hello? I don't want to go outside. If I heard strange noises from beyond my room, I would not leave my room ever. No, for real. I would also lock my fucking room. Ah, the strat. Unplug the mic. Hear me now, bitch. Oh. Oh god, what is happening? Oh. Is that the porch guy? Wait, let me look. That's the porch dude that who gave us the money. And is that the strange neighbor right there too? I'm floating. I have ascended. It's over, guys. I'm being raptured. From that very first night when I met that strange old man, he scared me to death. But who would have thought that my life would be in his hands? Oh, so he called the police. These days, I've had many thoughts about what might have happened if this old man has bad plans for me. What? However, all this time I didn't understand that sometimes the very evil that wants to hurt you is less tangible and much closer to you. Oh, wow. That is so dark I barely see it, but somebody is like walking right there. It watches you from the darkest corners of... Oh, that's what we saw! Those are flashbacks of where he was hiding. I saw your fuck-ass forehead, bro. I saw you. Oh, and that's what he was... Oh, wow. We almost saw him drag a body back. That's crazy. I should have seen more than what I was capable of at that moment. From this day on, I learned this lesson. Okay, cool. You know what? This game wasn't half bad. I actually enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself. Do what you want, bitch. I'm immortal now. He flies into the sky. Yeah. Bro had more than thoughts on his mind when we spotted him. True. Very true. Okay. Thank you for playing Overcome Your Fears, Caretaker. That cat is cute. Okay, I guess that was the game, guys. That was episode 1, and apparently the game dev's first game ever. That was pretty good for a first game. I enjoyed it. Lessons learned, trust nobody, have a plan to kill everyone we meet. Good lessons. Yeah. Okay, let me quit it though. I don't need that background music. Now Ellie leaves us. You are correct, actually. I'm sorry. Honestly, I only planned to stream like for an hour today, or depending on how long the game was. But we ended up yapping so much. For like almost an hour already. Okay. I don't hate you though. I swear you just started streaming. We've been live for 3 hours. We've already been here for 3 hours. Crazy. Oh, and we all... Okay, we have... You know what? I'm gonna snooze ads. Can't believe flaring my abandonment issues. I'm sorry, Crookie. Crying so hard. Wait, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, so... As I said earlier, Saturday we're gonna have a short stream. Gaming though, and maybe yapping, but nothing birthday related or anything like that. So Saturday is guaranteed. And maybe like a day before. What is today? Tuesday. Maybe I can stream tomorrow, actually. Also Saturday I want to play Poop Killer, and none of you guys can stop me because it's my birthday. I'm gonna play that game, and you're all gonna be grossed out. And you can't look away, because I'm the birthday girl, and I tell you to look at the screen and watch the poop. Yumi, thank you for being here. Nibby, welcome back. You made it back. Nibby, what kind of food did you get? Happy early birthday. Thank you, Ocean. Thank you. But yeah, also Saturday announcement. And yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm also gonna upload another. Well, actually, guys, how long is Poppy Playtime Chapter 2? How long is that game? Do you guys know on the top of your head? Longer than one? Yeah, I figured. That's why I'm asking. Like, how many hours approx? Okay, much longer? Okay. So, maybe okay. You know what? I'll split those YouTube videos in a couple of parts then. So maybe I can upload like one part this week as well. Because like, you know, the playing itself is not the issue, it's the editing afterwards. That's probably gonna take a lot of time. How many times do you plan to die? Oh, probably very often. Okay, you know what? Yeah, it's definitely gonna be in parts then. Are all of the chapters like super long? Like 3 hours? Around 3 hours? That's a lot of game. Oh, hell yeah, that's a lot of game time. They get longer? Okay. Actually, I'm very excited for that. I am very excited for that. But yeah, in that case, Poppy Playtime playthroughs are going to be in parts. So maybe I can upload like one part this week as well. We'll see how fast I am with editing. It usually takes like quite a bit. We'll see. I was excited too until I saw that damn cat. Oh boy. But yeah. Ellie question, how much toffee is too much toffee? There is like literally no such thing as too much toffee. That is a ridiculous question, Gracie. Absolutely ridiculous. Who are we raiding today? I see that Kana is playing Tomb Raider. Do you guys want to go to Kana? I want to go to Kana. We could also go to someone playing Genshin. Or let me see, who else? Kana? Okay. The masses decided on Kana. It was already decided anyways. I was gonna raid Kana. Yeah. I'm already in Kana's stream, I figured. Can you raid Ellie Redacted? I miss her. Can I raid myself? You know, I never actually... Hold on. Let's try something. Raid Ellie Redacted. No. It doesn't work. Wait, no, actually, hold on. Let me try... Hold on. Raid Ellie Redacted. Okay, I can't raid myself. That was a good experiment. We're not going with feed raid. We actually have raid commands now, guys. Raid 1. Raid 2. First one is for if you are subscribed. Second one is if you're not subscribed or if you just like the cow emojis. No. Oh.
I am the storm that is approaching.
Teddy, for fuck's sake. For a second I was like, wait. Did the raid actually happen? I was so confused for a second, bro. Funny how Tomu raided you when I was already here and you're raiding Kana while I'm already there. Hell yeah. I hope one day I can get to raid Tomu. I hope. Dude, I was... Oh my god.
I am the storm that is approaching.
No, I was... Dude, I was literally so confused earlier. I was like, wait, did my own raid actually go through? That Teddy, that was so funny. I'm just enjoying hearing Carmen. No, honestly, any chance to see my Raider Lord is a good one. I could never get mad at it. It's so good. Okay, hold on. Before I go offline, I'm a do this before I forget. Users, Yumi Yumster. Okay, no custom entrance command anymore. So Yumi, you are free of the auto shoutouts. For now. For now you are free. As per your wishes. Go live again, I miss you. I'm literally still live. What do you want me to do? I am free, thank you. For now, Yumi, for now. You know what, Nibby, you go live. I miss you. Go live right now. Go live on your main channel and on your second channel. So I can have Nibby time 2 times. Please, I miss you. My wallet already misses offline hype training you. Understandable, understandable. Am I allowed to do that? I don't know, actually. Are you? I mean, I could try it out right now, actually. I mean, it's technically possible with the program I use to do multi-streaming. So I could technically be online on 2 Twitch streams at the same time. But I don't think that's allowed. I don't think that's allowed, actually. But yeah, okay, hold on. Let me pull up Kanna's stream. I thought about going live today, but I know people want to also watch Kanna, and I don't want to mess with viewership since Twitch doesn't count your view with multiple tabs open. Not assuming people would want to watch me. That sounds equal. No. I totally get it. Also, people want to watch you all the time. I promise you. We all miss you. Which is why you should go live right now. Like right now, please. Go live. Go live, Nivy. I miss you. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I totally, honestly, like on a serious note, I totally feel that not wanting to mess with viewership because yeah, there's like a lot of times where 2 of my friends are streaming and I know that we share like at least 90% of our communities. So a lot of times I'm like, maybe I don't stream today because I don't want to mess with their viewership and like also not with mine. It does sound kind of egoistical, like in terms of like why would people want to watch me over them? But I know that people want to support like everyone. Like it's also the same issue we run into when Foxy, Nibby, and I are streaming at the same time on Monday. I feel bad sometimes because I know there are so many people watching us. But like at least 50% of the views are not counted because everyone has all 3 of our streams open. And once you have like more than 2 streams open, none of the views count. So sometimes I just feel really fucking bad for even streaming on a Monday because I don't want to take away from the viewership that like Nibby and Foxy like are deserving of, you know what I mean? It's really fucking annoying. It's messed up. It makes me upset too. Like, I don't want to have, I don't want people to feel forced to just like,
Hello, motherfucker.
you know, only have like 2 streams open. It's so stupid. Also, hi, Ref. Hello. Thank you for Headpad. Thank you. It's good to see you. But yeah, Twitch is really fucking evil like that. It's just... It's just not fair what there's going on. Also, they've said like they put out another like post about fixing more stuff in terms of like, you know, botted viewers and like viewership and stuff. But I feel like it's just gonna mess up even more stuff now. I feel like it's gonna get even messier now. Let us support everyone Twitch for fuck's sake. No, exactly. Like I want to support more than just 2 people at the same time because there's so many people I want to support. Like, fucking count my view when I'm actually having their streams play. It's so fucking unfair. But yeah, like, I especially feel bad when it comes to, like, our Monday collabs. Because it's so fun when all 3 of us are streaming. But it also, like, in the back of my mind, I also feel bad because I'm like, I'd rather have Nibby and Foxy have the views, you know? It really pisses me off that is even, like, a thought process I have to have in my dumb brain. All because Twitch sucks ass. Can't be worse than what Kick did. Wait, what did Kick do? I'm not updated on that. What did it do? It crashed and disconnected everyone for an entire hour? Are you serious? What the fuck? Holy shit, if that happened on Twitch, people would riot, dude. No, like, genuinely, with the new system they want to implement, I just want to turn my raids off completely. Because what if I get a big raid and that triggers the system to cap my CCV? Yeah, that's another thing. I heard, like... I admittedly didn't read up on it much, but I did hear that they want to, like, put a cap on, like, concurrent viewers now. So, it like, in case someone is, like, suspected of botting. But, like, what if you do get a big raid? What if you get like, a raid of 600 people? And the fucking system just mistakes it as you being botted. And just caps your viewers at like 20 viewers. Even though you have like fucking 120 people in chat. You what? Yeah, apparently, like, I can't explain it like super well because I didn't read up on it. Because I saw like cap on CCV and I was like, you know what, this is not gonna go well. I'm not even gonna bother. But apparently now, when like a streamer is suspected of botting themselves, Twitch caps their viewer list on like what it's supposed to be. So like if you have like usually like 100 people in chat, but you suddenly have like, you know, 2,000, it's still only gonna count the 100 ones and just discards the 2,000 as bots. Even if you may have been raided, I guess, because I know they're just gonna fuck up that system so badly. I know it's just gonna be so fucked. I'm gonna eat Twitch as well so people can break in and fucking fix it. No, honestly. Like, get a fucking... I just dropped everything. Get a better CEO. Somebody who isn't a fucking gross-ass gooner. And, actually fix your fucking website for once. Thank you for the lurk, Greasy. But yeah, hey, what can you do? At this point, we need a miracle for Twitch or a new platform that is actually good to stream on. Yeah, see, that's the issue. Like, I was like... Kick could have been such a good competitor if they didn't lean on the fucking, you know, that gamble and crypto shit. And like, actually, like, giving really bad people a platform too. That's also something that I do not agree with at all. I think it's not likely to cap if it's a one-time thing. They likely thought about that. The system should be smart enough to detect if it's a thing that happens multiple times. And maybe raids isn't even included since bots are normally single viewers that shows up on their own. That's true, Zarg. It's just, I feel so jaded with fucking Twitch fucking up everything that I just assume and expect them to fuck it up. You know what I mean? Welcome back, Super. Maybe I just mute my mic and grind more Cyberpunk? I don't know. I just don't want rats to wake up again. No, I get that, Nibby. But if you want to play Cyberpunk, I would love to watch that. Yeah. Gambling, crypto, hot top streams, and people who shouldn't be online. Yeah, it's Kick is bad. Like, I wanted to give it like a fair chance, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, ugh. You know? You'll hang out with me if you want. I'm about to like work on commissions. So, you know, if you don't feel like streaming but want to hang out in voice chat, sure. Stream your game to me, I don't mind. But yeah. What can you do? Notice how, oh my god, it's no, it's not been 30 minutes, but you're right. Oh my god, it ads are starting in 2 minutes. Okay, guys, I'm gonna raid you guys over to Kana. We're gonna go now. Raid messages again. I don't want you guys to be bombarded with ads, so we are leaving now. Like, we are leaving immediately. Please copy the raid messages, use whichever you want. And we're gonna go over to Kana. Raid odd Kana before the ads bombard us. Okay. Wait, oh, I forgot I can't do this. No ads for you, Ocean. No ads for you. I refuse. Okay, I'm gonna have to use this. Okay, there we go. Use whichever you want to. Yeah, you can also use the feed one if you want. But we gotta go, we gotta go. Okay. It was good to see you guys. If I don't see you before Saturday, I'll see you maybe on Saturday. But maybe I'll see you tomorrow or Thursday. It depends. It depends on when I can. But yeah, yeah, I'll see you guys very soon. It was fun today. And yeah, give Kana lots of love. Okay, I'ma go now. Bye bye.